They just had so much fun together. They had the longest honeymoon phase.
Her career was in tatters, but Brittany had found happiness with her new husband. Until the tabloids had their say. By 2007, 29-year-old Brittany Murphy had gone from A-list actress to the leading lady in box office disasters. And while she found happiness with her new husband, Simon Monjack, the media seemed determined to bring their honeymoon to an end.
I think the immediate response to the two of them as a couple was based purely on physicality. You know, Simon is heavier, he's older, and Brittany, very kind of pure and sweet and bubbly. I think that the instinct was that she's somehow being used.
The press corps that had been so instrumental in making Brittany a star now seemed to turn on her by attacking her new husband.
Simon was this character that everybody painted as a little bit shady.
Given the fact that Simon had an expired visa before the wedding, it's going to arouse serious suspicions that this is just to keep him in the country.
Brittany stuck by her new husband, but the tabloids were relentless. They dug up warrants for his arrest on charges of fraud and credit card theft.
Nobody likes to hear negative things about somebody they love. It's awful.
I think Brittany got into this spiral of despair, and I don't think she ever got out of it.
While Simon was taking a beating in the press, Brittany was also suffering career disappointment.
She was supposed to reprise her role of Gloria in Happy Feet 2. That fell through. Also, her role in the Sly Stallone movie Expendables was cut out. Then King of the Hill, on which she did one of the main voices, was not renewed.
She was an actress who had slipped away a bit from the public consciousness.
But behind the scenes, Brittany was working as hard as ever. While preparing to star as an opera singer and failed ballerina in the White Hotel, Brittany had immersed herself in ballet. Though the film was scrapped, she continued her intensive dance training.
We'd work for 2 hours every day for 3 years. She had the most perfect body for ballet.
But her slimmed-down dancer's physique touched off new rumors.
The press started to speculate that Brittany had an eating disorder.
I never knew of an eating disorder. I knew of a piglet. She loved her food.
But the media speculation grew even more vicious as the tabloids also claimed that Brittany was abusing drugs.
It's total rubbish. Brittany never took any drugs of any kind.
She had a personality that was so huge, and I think everybody just, looked at her and thought, if you're loud and crazy, there's got to be a reason for it. But there wasn't. It was just her.
She suddenly turned on the paparazzi. These people that had become her friends over the years, she started to see them as the enemy.
In November 2009, Brittany was filming a thriller titled The Caller in Puerto Rico when she abruptly left the cast. Rumors spread that she'd been difficult to work with and that Simon had been drunk on the set.
After coming back from the set of The Caller, Brittany got sick. Just a regular flu. She treated it the same way she would treat a flu.
But it quickly progressed in her system, so she was getting weaker and weaker.
She said she'd had a bad throat, and she did. She always suffered from anemia.
The rumor is she got quite sick and she didn't want to go to the doctor because she didn't want photographs out there and more rumors to circulate.
If you've been persecuted before because you look too skinny, the last thing you want to do is go out of your house not looking your best, because there is a price to pay.
I think actors and actresses today are constantly afraid of what will be reported in the latest blog or entertainment news show.
Those fears and those paranoias build up in people to the point that, as you see in this case, she decided to stay home and really take care of herself.
Brittany treated her illness with various over-the-counter drugs, but on December 20th, 2009, her condition deteriorated sharply.
That morning, she woke up, she couldn't breathe. She went out to get some air. Sharon followed her out. I'll say this because I know you can't. She said, "Mom, I'm dying, I love you."
Back inside, Brittany collapsed in her bathroom. Around 8 a.m., her mother phoned 911, and Simon performed CPR for 9 minutes until paramedics arrived.
Brittany, for the first time, was almost fighting for air. Her eyes were not right. They were darting off left, right, and center.
Brittany was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Around 10 a.m., doctors informed Simon that they were unable to save her.
I called Simon and I said, "Simon, it's not true. It can't be true." And he was in floods of tears and he said, "Darling little Brit died this morning."
It was out of nowhere. It was... You know, I think shocking to everybody.
What seemed like an ordinary case of influenza was in fact something far more serious.
Her primary cause of death was pneumonia.
The secondary cause of death was acute anemia and then followed by multiple drug interaction. They found no indication of illicit drug use. She was taking over-the-counter cold medicine.
Brittany Murphy, a performer whose career had scarcely begun, was dead at the age of 32.
She had so much to give, and she wanted to be a mom so bad, and that was her next big thing.
A lot of these issues with her could have been prevented if she were out of the house with some expert care.
But some say Brittany was the victim of a much more pervasive tragedy in the celebrity world.
You want to know what broke Brittany Murphy's heart? Hollywood broke Brittany Murphy's heart.
I think Simon really truly believed that. This was a girl whose career had just blossomed. She'd never had rejection until later on in life. She'd never learned how to deal with it.
It's a very strange, dark downside of celebrity that she fell victim to.
Glimpses of her potential can be seen in more than 20 film roles. But Brittany Murphy is also remembered through the charity that was created in her name.
The Brittany Murphy Foundation. It's all about her love of children. That was her legacy.
For friends and fans, Murphy's early death is doubly tragic because it cut short a comeback many saw as inevitable.
We'd already started working to get her ready to do a screen test for Black Swan. Natalie Portman did a wonderful job, but Brittany would have been a hell of a contender.
I think she was always one film away from having a comeback, but we never saw her in that comeback film.